director Professor Anupam
Okay.
Basu. Before that, 2016, there is a alumni cell, and
Okay.
uh, and from 2018 January, there is a Center for Alumni Affairs and International Relations. This is the center under
Okay.
the means it is a wings of the NIT Durgapur. Or
Okay.
just like the academic section, it is also a alumni section kind of things.
Acha, so that's great.
And
It's a great initiative.
and it is basically now the structure is like that. There is a
Mm-hmm.
chairman of this particular center, Professor I.
Mm-hmm.
Poshak from Mechanical, myself act as
Okay.
a coordinator or convener of the center,
Okay.
uh,
Okay.
and one member, another faculty is member, Professor Diptesh Das, and
Okay.
we have formed one team, the faculty from the different department as well as
Okay.
this is the student body. In student body,
Okay.
we just given another entity that
Mm-hmm.
student alumni interaction cell under
Yes.
this care, the Center for Alumni
Okay.
Affairs and International Care,
Okay.
and we have developed the website.
Mm-hmm.
It is the interactive website in
Okay.
the name of alumnitdgp.in,
Okay.
and there the alumni can register his or her name, and they can
Mm-hmm.
avail the alumni card, e-alumni
Mm-hmm.
card.
Okay. I actually got it. So I
uh,
am also registered there. So I received
uh,
recently through email only. I received it.
okay, okay.
So it's a great initiative. I think a lot of people would be able to know that we are doing really great.
And another thing, we have lot of event organized by the student. Event means one is the now it is all in online mode. Eminent
Okay.
online, eminent
Yeah.
alumni
Yeah.
lecture, student alumni meet,
Right.
entrepreneurship talk like that way. And
Mm-hmm.
also there is a few more program like STAMP, student alumni mentorship program, that the
Okay.
student
Okay.
can
Mm-hmm.
alumni can mentor some existing or present student, so that
Okay.
for it's kind of informal
Mm-hmm.
mentorship kind of things, that
Okay.
for future direction, how they will move in the future direction, or in academics, or for giving providing internship,
Mm-hmm.
like that way.
So these activities are very important for students,
Hmm.
especially who are, an alumni also. At least they could be able to interact with students, what is going on, and
So
develop something together.
that is why we have introduced this one, but only
Okay.
thing is depends on the interest of the current student,
Right. Right.
how they like to avail this opportunity that
Mm-hmm.
created by the institute.
Right.
Uh, but
But it's
only
a great
thing is
initiative.
because of the COVID pandemics, it is now in online. So
Mm-hmm.
though there are certain advantages also there in online,
Okay.
we can organize in the regular basis. If it is offline, it is occasional, because
Okay.
there are a lot of
Yeah. Yeah.
logistic is used to provide from the institute. That is sometimes getting problem. But now it is relatively easier
Yes.
to organize this kind of things.
Right. Because of online. And is the institute open now, or everyone is like studying from home?
Institute is no BTech student from home, MTech also from home. For
Okay.
PhD, they have opened in the month of December, but again
December.
it's closed down in the April. Now once again it is reopened for the for the PhD student and the project staff.
Okay.
Those who have taken two vaccination, now they have opened for those who have taken one vaccination also from the 2nd September.
Okay. Okay.
And hopefully, if it is no such wave, then after the October, Institute Authority is thinking for the gradually for the BTech.
Okay, okay. So most of the companies also they are planning to start in March, mostly February and March. Even we are all working from home because of COVID.
Uh,
So let's hope everything goes well and we would be able to enjoy our previous life pre-COVID despite missing.
it's very difficult for engineering education. Many other, but
Yeah, yeah.
engineering education is extremely difficult
Without practicals and
without
without
practical.
student interaction.
Practical is one important thing. Another is the hostel life is another most important
Right.
thing in the
Hmm.
4 years BTech course in hostel life. This
That is
type
the
of
most
hostel,
important.
this type of
Yes.
hostel, where the from the from the people from the different corner, they used to come in the NIT system, because NIT REC system is basically cosmopolitan kind of thing.
Right.
So it's not like other university like Jadavpur or other institute in West Bengal. So they are basically day scholar. Most of them are day scholar.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but in our institute, from the inception, it is the residential institute, and
Right.
it's the representation of the whole India.
Right.
Previously, for each, your time, my time also, each state there is a student, no quota system that used to come. Now it has been changed little bit, but still, it represents most of the states.
Right.
So that culture and that hostel life, it's a you cannot get this type of things in afterward in professional life. You
Yeah.
not
So
get
that is
that
important.
experience. That's
Hopefully
important.
in 2 years it gets over, because we are already sailing on 1.5 years. No, I think hopefully in
Yeah,
another
2
6-7
years.
months it should get over, because the cases are less. So once everybody gets vaccinated, I believe it will be over soon. But nobody knows. This is an
But nobody
unpredictable
knows.
disease. Yeah.
Unpredictable. Okay, thank you,
Okay.
Ashish. And
Thank you so much for bringing me here, sir. And it's my privilege actually to speak to all the students. So we can start now.
You can say Deepan.
Bali, please introduce.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I am Mohammad Nasir from Students Alumni Interaction Cell IIT Liverpool. Our speaker for today's Entrepreneur Talk program is Mr. Asif Sukadev. He did his bachelor's in technology from our college NIT Liverpool in the Electronics and Communication Engineering department. He is the founder and CEO of Analytics Insight, a platform dedicated to trends and opinions from the world data-driven technologies. Sir, we welcome you warmly and request you to take over the session.
Thank you so much, Deepan, for the introduction. It's indeed my pleasure speaking to all of you and coming back to college. So let me start the presentation. I'll just share it. So there is no option for sharing, right?
Yes, sir, you can present.
Okay. I am actually new to Microsoft. I used it earlier, but now where is it? That option?
Top right corner. Share content.
Okay, let me see if I could see.
Just before leave. You're in laptop or in cell phone?
I am in laptop only, so I can see one
top
turn
right
camera,
corner.
mute, show participant, then raise hand, more actions. I can see show device settings, show background, keypad. So
no, extreme right top.
Extreme right top.
Leave just before leave. The red color leave sign is there.
Achha, that is also not open. But I'll do one thing. I have one link. So if everybody is using the system like internet.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can you please open analyticsinsight.net / just try to open because I knew this thing would happen. So I actually uploaded the presentation online. So that will be helpful to all of us. So it's analyticsinsight.net / analytics-presentation.
Deepan, you have to give privilege to him that as a presenter.
So Deepan is there, no? So
Yes, sir.
so
please
is there
try
any
once.
Acha, can you open, everybody, can you please open? It's analyticsinsight.net / analytics and hyphen presentation. If it's opening any PDF or something?
Sir, can you provide the link in the chat box?
Yeah. The chat box is also, I think I tried, it's not coming. It is saying chat in channel meetings is only available to team members. So that is also an option, problem we are facing.
Deepan, you give privilege of the organizer or something like that to him, then only he can do. Have you given the privilege? You have to give
I think,
privilege.
yes, sir, I have given that.
Acha, so it is saying
Yes,
learn
sir.
more, facilitate. Still, I'm not able to see that. So, okay. So just a minute. Is there any other way I could share link? Anyone who
No,
share?
still he is in guest, no?
Yeah, no problem. But if anybody opens the presentation, so
Can
anyone.
you not convert him as a organizer or the presenter?
Yes, sir, I have changed that.
So I
No.
think there is some option also from my end, some issue. So, but if anybody knows, opens the link, they can share it within the group. So Dipan, can you just please open www.analyticsinsight.net?
Hey, but in our computer, Ashish is showing as a attendee.
Acha. You are an attendee.
No.
You are a presenter. Now I am a presenter, but I am not able to. Acha, right? No, still not able to see anything. More actions. Show device settings. Nothing is coming.
No, he has to give privilege. Otherwise, it will be like this.
Can you please provide your mail ID?
Acha, okay. So it's Ashish, ASH,
Okay.
SUK,
Then
HA,
yes, sir.
then D for Delhi, DEBE @gmail.com.
By this account you have joined in Microsoft Teams, right?
Not by this account. I think it's a just free version. I didn't sign up for anything.
Okay.
Can I share this presentation within the group? Are you able to access the team email which you sent
Yes.
to me?
Yes, sir. You please send that that link in Gmail.
Okay, no problem. I just shared you. Just open it, and you can share it to everybody then.
Yes, sir.
No, I think on behalf of you, other can present means
No
scroll
problem.
that, and you
Sure.
just you can explain that one or.
Yeah.
I think
So I
that
have
way
shared the
also it's
link.
possible.
Yeah. So I'll also share the presentation.
Dipan,
Yes, sir.
you anyone from your end, you just present that particular material.
Yeah. I'm just sharing the material.
By sharing your screen.
Okay, sir. I'm sharing it on.
Okay, so I shared you one more time. Okay, on PPT also I shared, so that also you can share in case needed.
Yes, sir. I have shared that in group. Can you please open, sir?
I have also.
No. Yes, you please open the tab, send in that group.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
So
yes, sir.
I shared you one presentation. I think you can share if you have the right now. You can share the presentation in the Gmail. I just shared you PPT and the link also. Both of them
You just download the PPT from your mail. Okay. So which mail you have sent?
Gmail, the team email which I received. It's
Sir, I have shared that in Sicel group, sir.
Oh,
yeah,
I am
you
telling
already
you,
shared.
you download that one and you share your screen with the Power PPT.
Oh, okay, sir.
You open his PPT first in your screen, then you share your screen. I request Ashish to you can start with telling your journey actually from 2001 or even 1997 to till date. Please unmute.
Sorry, I just unmuted. Okay.
Yeah.
So I will start with my introduction. So I bring
1997 onwards.
okay from 1997. I joined NIT as a student in electronics and communication. So it was really good to because the professors were good and it was interesting topic for me. And I had a knack for electronics since long. I used to love technology. So that is the reason I signed up for electronics and communication. And after passing out, I joined research firms. Basically, I was more inclined towards research and analytics. So previously, I worked with leading analytics companies, which includes EvalueServe. It's in Gurgaon. Then I worked with Walters Kluwer. It's a leading publication. I worked in New Delhi, and then I worked with IHS and Global Data. And it's been like 16 years in the industry. And currently, I am also serving as an HBR Advisory Council member, and wherein I guide them about different offerings, how they could do cover stories, and which sectors one should, write on. And recently, I was accepted into Forbes Business Council, and I was awarded Indian Achiever Awards in 2020. And recently, I was named as the Economic Times Inspiring CEO in 2021. And one more recognition we recently received, which is Steve Gold Award, which is an international recognition. And this is for the best publication in science. And apart from that, I also write for leading publications. For example, Forbes, I write for IEEE Computer Society. And my articles also get published in Hindustan Times and other similar channels. So my basically goal is to build a community of disruptive technologies and how the challenges they can be solved by all these technologies in the organization as well as in the society. So this is my introduction, and I'm going to cover a brief introduction about Analytics Insight. So it's a publication. It started as a blog. So I had a knack for writing. So I used to write a lot of blogs and earlier, and I had a passion for writing since beginning. Even when I was in NIT, I used to write something on paper, some diary or something. And even my father used to teach English, so I picked my English skills from there. And at Analytics Insight, it's a publication. We focus on thought leadership. We publish articles based on disruptive technologies, which includes artificial intelligence, big data, cloud computing, and similar technologies. We publish magazines, and we are the first publication in artificial intelligence. So nobody is publishing magazine in this space on AI and big data. Apart from that, we also publish reports and white papers. So these reports are mostly market research reports. Some of them are also, vendor reports about different vendors in the industry. For example, business intelligence. So we recognize these vendors. We rank them in terms of their product portfolio, and this is used by a lot of industry, mostly CXO level guys, to identify which vendors are suitable for their companies. And we also do podcast. We normally talk to different leaders, understand their journey, and then share it to the audience. So all in all, it's mostly our focus remains on technologies, artificial intelligence, big data. So some of the clients which we serve is IBM, Xerox, Accenture, and Deloitte. So at present, it is recognized as a leading publication globally, and our ranking is also quite good. In terms of Alexa, I think we are ranked around 8,000 in global and around 1,000 in India. So how it started? As I told you, I always had a knack for writing. So I used to write a lot of, I used to write diaries. And after 2003, I don't think there were, in 2000, during my time, I don't think there were platforms like Blogger. Now there are many platforms like WordPress is also there. So earlier it was not there. Earlier we used to write in hand also. So then I started writing, blogs in 2003 or 4, Blogger platform. I used to write a lot of personal blogs. Okay. And then I started in 2016. I joined Narsi Monji. I did an executive program in Narsi Monji. And during college and one of the presentations, there was a professor from IIM. He told us, why don't you mix something of your passion and with analytics? And he asked us to read a book, The Medici Effect. It's a very good book. I think all of you should read it. So the book normally focuses on intersection of ideas, how mixing two things can bring innovation. So then I thought, why can't I write for analytics? So if I already have a passion for analytics, I can also write on analytics. So this is how it started, and then industry experience also. So this is how I started this blog. Earlier it was just a blog, and then it was moved to WordPress, and I noticed that a lot of people are looking at it. The rankings went up, and articles like artificial intelligence were gaining a lot of traction. So I converted into a full-fledged magazine. So this is how Analytics Insight started. Okay, so that's about the company. I'll just talk a little bit about data. I'll not go deeply because it will take a lot of time to understand the coding and other stuff. So I'll just help you understand about data and analytics. So what is data? So basically the world is data driven. If we see old reports in 2020, yeah.
Excuse me, can you see the slide now?
Just a minute. Yeah, I can see it. Sure. It's good. It's really good that we got. So we need to go to slide number 6. I think we need to move forward. Again, forward. 5th. This is the book. Actually, you can definitely read. It's very interesting, and it's available online. Even it's available for free. So it talks about intersection of ideas, concepts, and cultures. If two different cultures mix and ideas meet, they form something new, which is and innovation happens at organization level at this kind of stage. Okay, so we can move to slide. Okay, data and analytics. The next slide. Okay, so I was talking about data. So in 2020, people created 1.7 MB of data every second. Data is generated in a huge quantity. Even we use mobiles and we send a lot of text to different people. It's all data. We are all data driven. Okay. Some reports also quote that 1.2 trillion MB of data is generated per day. And whatever we do is backed by analytics. So data is there. Even when we were in college, we still, if you are in college, you definitely understand. You look at your previous grades, right? You look at your previous semesters. I think it would be a CGPA now, but earlier, when in our times, we used to look at the grades of our previous, years or something, and based on that, we used to make strategy. Okay, so that is also a form of analytics. So whatever is there, whatever data we analyze, is known as analytics. Okay, so there are different types of data. Okay, so one is nominal data, one is ordinal data. So the difference between this data is that nominal data is a set of value that possesses an ordering. For example, if we talk about red, green, that doesn't process anything. For example, red, green and blue. There is no order in it. So it is also a form of unstructured data. So there are many examples of nominal data, anything, different mobile phones, Redmi, iPhone or something, it's all nominal data. There is no rank to it. Okay. And then there is a form of data called ordinal data. So ordinal data is a data which can be classified, which can be ordered. For example, small, medium, large. These are the data which can be ordered. Even high and low, it can be ordered. So it is a form of structured data. So we get in analytics, what happens, we get a lot of data and we have to analyze the data. So there are different techniques. So for cleaning the data, so most of the analyst or data scientist, he spends a lot of time cleaning data. 90% or 80% of the time he spends on cleaning the data. So how we can clean the data? Data can be cleaned using different tools. In our times now also I use Excel, also it is used to clean data. SPSS is a form, is a tool which can use to clear data, reduce data or data cleaning. And there are various, programming tools also. In Python also you can clear data or reduce data or clean data. In R also you can clean data. So mostly the data, there is a function called factor analysis. So it is basically used to clean data. So you can reduce the number of variables which are not important to your data, and then you can do the analytics. So deleting the structure, and it helps to analyze the data in a proper way. So with this, I would definitely say that, can we move into 8th slide, Dipayan? Can we move to 8th slide? Slide 8. Next slide.
I think Chandrima is presenting now.
Acha, it got hanged. No problem. So whatever we do is backed by analytics. Okay. So with that, I remember a quote that data analytics is like salt. It improves almost everything. And even if you can hear a lot of quotes like this, like in God we trust and others must bring data. So the importance of data analytics is huge, and it's all growing. Everybody is using data. So it's all about analyzing the data and presenting it in a useful manner. Then there are different types of analytics. There are actually 4 types of analytics. One is descriptive analytics. Okay. Then other type of analytics is diagnostic analytics. We have predictive analytics and we have prescriptive analytics. So the difference is in descriptive analytics, whatever data is there, we have to summarize it, and we have to use existing business intelligence tools that I will discuss in the further slides. So in descriptive analytics, we just summarize data and present it in the form of presentation. Even what I am showing is a form of descriptive analytics. In diagnostic analytics, it focuses on why the performance of data. I mean, it focuses on the past performance of data to determine what happened and why. Okay. In predictive analytics, it uses the old data to make predictions. For example, in organization, let's take an example of stock market. A lot of people who are investing in stock market, they use predictive analytics. They are natural predictive analytics users. They analyze the market, previous stock values and how it can come, what will be the next value of particular company or so. So predictive analytics is used. Even in revenues, in most of the organization, there is a separate team who forms what will be the market revenue of particular product in the times ahead. So here they use normally growth rate. For example, if they get 2 to 3 years of market revenue, for example 2019, 2020 and 2021, this is the revenue of a company and how it will increase in 2021. So they use growth rates, existing different attributes, and then they make a prediction what will be the growth in the next year. Okay. And then we have prescriptive analytics, which is the less used form in the industry. It helps us to understand why something has happened. Okay. So mostly in the industry, people are using either descriptive analytics or predictive analytics. In descriptive analytics, it's mostly about business intelligence tools. So there are various tools that I'll explain. And in predictive analytics, it's all about statistical models and so. Then we have, so why we use analytics? Okay, why companies are using analytics? So on an organization point of view, so people, so organization basically use analytics to understand their customers. Okay, for example, if a retail channel he wants to use analytics, he will use it to sell more of the product to its customer. Okay, and he will also analyze what channels are the most effective for which customer. For example, if he has two websites, okay, which website is selling more, so he will use analytics. In that situation, he can also use Google Analytics, understands which channel is being used more. So Google Analytics is also used in such situation. Then what customers should include in a particular campaign. So if they are doing a campaign, so what set of customers they could send the campaign to through email or something. Segmentation. So that is the tactical decision they normally do. Then in the production or some factories, analytics is being used to understand the products. How much material will be required, how much quantity of material will be required to build the product. Okay, and in the most important is also HR analytics. In HR, earlier it was not happening. Earlier only one HR used to be there, and he used to predict, analyze employees based on his assumption or something. But now we are very smart. Most of the organizations, they are using HR analytics. In HR analytics, what happens is HR people normally predict the login time of different users, whether he's motivation level of different people, whether he's participating in conferences, whether he's showing interest in different activities, whether he's taking up courses, and based on that they understand whether this employee is going to stay here or he will leave the organization. So that is also a useful field of analytics in HR, and it is also being used to understand the spending of customer. For example, if you purchased something on Amazon yesterday, Amazon will definitely know that this person has purchased this much of amount. So definitely they will send you email with different offers similar to the products you have purchased. So these are the internal organizations decisions which an organization takes based on analytics. Sorry, it's not internal, it's or external, pertaining to the customers.
Excuse me, Ashish, which slide you are now?
I am on 10th slide.
10th slide. Chandrima, please.
So
slide.
This is the topic.
You tell time to time where you have to move.
Sure. So these are the basic 10th only. So these are the basic tactical decisions an organization makes using analytics for the customers and for the stakeholders. Okay, how they use analytics inside to make strategic decisions. Okay, they can use analytics to understand what is the vision of the company. Okay, which areas they should invest in. They can also use which technology is doing really great. For example, IT is doing good. In IT, which DevOps is doing good. Which sector or which technology is in the market, which has the highest revenue in the market. Okay, they can analyze it and they can invest in those technologies. What will be the future workforce, or people will join the company. All these kind of strategic decisions are used in organizations by using analytics. Okay, so let's move to next slide. Yeah, so analytics is basically done through different techniques. So a lot of people use techniques, statistical techniques. So how many of you are aware of any techniques, are using statistics or something? So are you guys using any statistics or something for your reports or assignments? No problem. If it's not a problem. So basically some of the techniques which are used in analytics. Yeah, someone was saying something.
Sir, pivot tables.
Pivot tables, yeah, that is also a form of analytics. It's a business intelligence, I would say, to segment the data, right? So it is mostly used in Excel. Yeah. So that is also a form of analytics, but it comes in business intelligence. For statistical analytics, mostly logistic regression is used. Linear regression is used. So anybody knows what is regression? Any guesses? No problem. So guys, regression is basically, yeah.
Sir, we generate equation from given data.
Right. Yeah. So that is regression. So we plot, there is a relationship. We have to identify a relationship between a dependent variable and 3 or 4 independent variable. So that is called regression. I'll give you a simple example. Okay, why regression is used. For example, if you have to build a store. Okay, if you have to analyze any store, for example, I would say any showroom. So we have to analyze this, the satisfaction of the customer. So that is a dependent variable. So we have to find what are the things which help organize customers to get satisfied. Is it the store location? Is it the behavior of the staff? Is it the products? So the dependent variable is satisfaction, and independent variables are all the other factors. So here regression is used. So there is also a difference between linear regression and logistic regression. Linear regression is mostly used for if the variables are numeric, 1, 2, 1.2, something like that. Logistic regression is used when the data is in S, no, small, some words format. Okay. So mostly customer management uses prediction using these techniques, logistic regression or linear regression. Analytics, then people also use risk management, in which we use clustering. So in bank, a lot of people are there who does fraud. A lot of fraudulent calls, fraud is being taken place. Okay. So banks are also using analytics, okay, to understand which person will defraud. Credit card frauds are there most of the time. Many people buy shopping and they don't pay later. So analytics is used in banks to understand the person who is going to do fraudulent activities. So here is also it is used. Then we have used people use analytics in optimization. For example, in a factory, we have to identify how much product or material is needed and what will be the output. Okay. So in that situation, these are the methods are used. They're all deep actually. I'll share you a slide after this or some time later, so you can go through it. So these are the things which are used in analytics. These are the statistical techniques used. Logistic regression is a widely used technology. Sorry, a tool. And then clustering is there. So if anybody is keen to join analytics or something, they can easily search and understand the topics. It's very easy, and definitely it will help you in interview. And in most of the interviews, definitely these things will be asked. What is logistic regression? What is linear regression? So these are the most important topics if you want to join in any management consulting firm or analytics firm. Okay, so let's move to another slide. Hello. So the next slide is business intelligence. So have you ever seen any business intelligence tools before? Tableau or ClickView or something? Any dashboard before?
Power BI.
Yeah, Power BI is mostly used. It is a part of business intelligence. So what business intelligence is? It's a presentation of data. Okay. So most of the managers or CXO level people, they don't have time. Okay. They just can't sit and see which data is there, which value is high. So what they need is business intelligence report. So business intelligence is the analysis of data and presenting in the form of insights so that anybody can see the results in a very visualizing way. Okay. In this, you can see it's a map. Okay. It's a map of the US of different cities and sales. You can easily find which city has the highest sale. You can see California has the highest sale. Okay, you can see the circles. I think $4 lakh is the highest sale in California. So such kind of insights you can always get in business intelligence tools. Okay, so there are different types of business intelligence tools, as I said. So one is Power BI, as she told. Then we have Tableau also. Tableau is also a widely used business intelligence tools. Okay, there is one more tool called ClickView. So that is also used. So this is basically business intelligence, and visualization is also again presenting the data in a useful manner. Most of the infographics, they're all visualization. So it's a visual representation of data to gain insights from it. Okay, so then what is not analytics? Okay, what it is not. For example, I'll give an example. Okay, Mr. Khushwant Singh died at the age of 99, and he drank whiskey all his life. Okay, BKS Iyengar died at age 96, and he did yoga all his life. That doesn't mean that whiskey gives a 3-year edge over yoga. So it's an example. It's not, analytics is not correlation. Okay, we have to analyze data. There is no correlation component in analytics. So let's move to next slide. Okay, so there is a correlation and understanding logic. So for example, I'll give you one example. There is a classic case which says sleeping with one shoes on is strongly correlated with waking up with headache. If somebody is sleeping with their shoes on, he will wake up with a headache. So therefore, sleeping with one shoes causes headache. So this is what an example it is. It's a correlation. But if we understand the logic behind it, people who sleep and who are drunk, okay, they normally wake up with headaches and all. Okay, so there is a difference between correlation and logic. In the third example, as ice cream sales increase, the rate of drowning death increases sharply. Okay, that doesn't mean ice cream causes drowning. A possible explanation for this is whenever in summers ice creams, in summer what happens is most of the people they go for swimming. Okay, activities which involve waters and sport. Okay, so as a result they drown. So that is the reason in summer the most of the deaths happen. Okay, so they have kept this relationship between ice cream and sales, which is not analytics. So we cannot apply logic to everything and make it analytics. Okay, so let's go to other slide. So basically what happens is, how is analytics important? So what do we need to have a good analytics? First example is domain knowledge. So analytics is all about domain knowledge. You need to have a very good domain knowledge. Okay, even if you're doing civil engineering, okay, even if you're doing mechanical engineering, you need to gain domain knowledge, which is what I did for the past 12 years or 14 years after I started this company. So domain knowledge is extremely important. Then you need to have an understanding of math or logic. Okay, and the logic which I just mentioned. Okay, and statistical tools. So analytics is all about domain knowledge, math, and statistics. And the objective of analysis is how it helps. It helps organization to increase profit. Okay, it helps to reduce cost. It helps to expand customer base and manage attrition, as I told you, the example of HR, and manage risk, credit card example. So domain knowledge is extremely important. So whatever you're doing, just gain the knowledge, whichever field you are. Okay. Okay. So let's move to next slide. So based on domain also, I think a lot of companies have come up with new terms, which is financial analytics. If somebody is working in finance and doing analytics, now there is a designation called financial analytics. If you are in marketing doing analytics, now they are knowing as marketing analytics. They're all given based on the roles and domains. If you are into sales, okay, most of the people also after college go into sales, join a leading organization. And if they use analytics, it will be known as sales analytics. So these are the separate designations which are available in the market in terms of job roles and things. And you must be knowing about data scientists. I think it is the hottest job of the century. You might have heard about it. So the data scientists are mostly people who are good at all these things. Okay, if you open slide 18. So data scientists are people who actually know math and statistics. So in mathematics, one should know machine learning. So slide number 18. So I'll just, okay, it's a visual representation. I just wanted to show. Please go to slide 18. 1.8. Yeah, that one. Who are data scientists? So I think it is missed. So basically data scientists are people who are good at maths and statistics. Okay, and it's not very difficult. Okay, being an engineer, it becomes very easy for us to learn. Okay, anyone can learn statistics. I think in the first year we were taught statistics, but not at this level. But it's very interesting topic. If anybody wants to make their career in data science, they can easily learn all this thing. They don't need to join any courses or something. There are many offline courses available, and they're all free. So if somebody is very keen to do join data analytics, they can just understand the concepts of mathematics and statistics. In mathematics, you have machine learning. Okay, we went little ahead, yeah. So mathematics and statistics, one should know. Statistics I told about the regression analysis. So these are the techniques which are used in mathematics and statistics. Then domain knowledge, as I mentioned you, domain knowledge is extremely important. Whatever field you are going, you need to have a very good domain knowledge. Okay. Then if you are very good at programming skills, try to learn data visualization, Python. R is also one of the useful tools which is being used today. Okay, these are the best languages. R is there, Python is there, and there are many. Julia is also there. I think it is a new language. I think it is done developed by Indian based company. Okay, and then we have communication and visualization, which comes in Power BI. So all these three or four things combines in a data scientist role. Okay, so if you want to if you are an aspiring data scientist, you can definitely get into this. So domain knowledge is extremely important. Okay, so what is why domain knowledge is important? It helps you to understand the topic. Okay, if it helps you to ask the right questions. Okay, it directs the analysis towards business objectives, and it is used to help in the interpretation of results. Okay, so I'll give you an example of domain knowledge in the next slide. So this is the blood pressure readings of a patient at a particular period of time. So I want you guys to please find an outliers in it. Outlier as in which is not suitable to the data, which is odd man out or something. So these are basically the readings of blood pressure of a person at any particular point of time. So if anyone could spot the outlier, it will help us understand the importance of domain knowledge.
Excuse me, sir. Could you please elaborate the meaning of domain? Is the domain means the industry that we are?
Yeah, it could be industry domain knowledge. For example, if after what is your branch right now?
I'm from second year.
Sorry, I couldn't hear.
Civil engineering second year.
Civil engineering. Okay, fine. So for example, if you are doing civil engineering, okay, and afterwards you join any construction firm, okay, in a strategic position, okay, as an analyst or as a manager, okay, and then you have all the knowledge about civil engineering, okay, and if you are doing analytics, you can easily spot what is wrong in if the data is there. Here I will explain you the importance. For example, here I don't think anybody has spotted. These are the ratings of a blood pressure of a patient. You can see 40 by 25. This is a rating. Anybody who has measured blood pressure, it's normally 80 by 120. Okay, but here in this data, you can see 40 by 25. This cannot be a rating. If somebody attends this kind of rating, the person will die. Okay, so this is an outlier, and this can be spotted by only person who either know the topic or who is in the healthcare industry. Okay, so such kind of outliers and things we can easily spot through domain knowledge. So that is the reason why domain knowledge is important. And coming back to your question, if you join any construction company and you already know all the techniques, okay, so you will be at a better position to understand the data, understand the techniques or anything pertaining to the civil engineering. Okay, so currently there are various technologies which are powered by data. I think the slide is not showing properly. Okay, there is a format change. So artificial intelligence is the leading technology which is powered by data. Yeah. So anybody knows artificial intelligence? What is artificial intelligence? Anything, don't shy. It's okay, no problem.
So giving intelligence to machines, this machine will decide and do the work by itself.
Right. Exactly. So artificial intelligence is a computer, branch of computer science, which actually helps to build smart machine capable of taking decisions on their own. And there are again various forms of artificial intelligence. Okay, then we have machine learning, which is a subset of artificial intelligence. Then we have deep learning, which is also a subset of artificial intelligence. Okay, some of the popular examples of artificial intelligence are Alexa, self-driving cars, which is not in India, but I think Tesla is there. If anybody has seen Tesla in the US, It is all powered by artificial intelligence. Okay. Then we have bots. If you go to any website, no, if anybody has SDFC Bank, if they open the website, they can see a bot there, chat bot, which is also a part of artificial intelligence. Then email filters. You can see in your email, some of the emails go into spam filter without even you putting it them. It uses artificial intelligence. And then Netflix recommendation engines. So whenever you watch a movie, you will definitely come up with a similar movie in the bottom or so. So they are all using artificial intelligence. Then again, we have Internet of Things, which refers to connected devices. Then cloud computing. So email and whatever we are doing, even this presentation is a part of cloud computing. We are presenting through cloud. Okay, it could be on demand or something. Gmail, email, all the email platforms are cloud computing platforms. They pay on demand delivery, pay as you go pricing. Okay. And then we have robotics, which we already know. Robotics is quite old. So robotics is also part of artificial intelligence. Okay. So let's move to next slide. Yeah, so these are the industry. So okay, where artificial intelligence is used. One is retail. Okay. So I just gave you the example of how retailers use artificial intelligence to keep their customers happy. Okay. Medicine also to manage the reduce the waiting times of patients. Artificial intelligence is used or big data is used. Then banking and financial also. Example of HDFC chatbot. It's also part of big data analytics, predicting data, virtual assistants and all that. Okay. Construction, as I told you, construction also, the average time needed to complete task to material based expenses. People use analytics to calculate the time needed. Transportation also. So there are various industries. These are all the limited industries which I have included, but there are multiple industries which use analytics. Okay, so next slide. So there is a link. Okay, I think if anybody could open this, we made a report of top data science education institute. Okay, so in this report you can find all the data science institutes, who are the top players, uh, top institute in the industry, and who are the recruiters, what is the profile of all data scientists, what are the salaries of data scientists. So it includes all of them. I think you should go through this report once if you are keen to join a program in data science. And there are some free programs also. Okay, there are some uh, BTech courses. BTech courses we cannot do now. MTech courses are there, PhD courses are there. So it's an extensive report which we prepared. It highlights all the courses. Let me see some courses here. So we cannot share, but still it includes the market potential of data science, then market trend analysis. Okay, it includes market size and all other programs. Data science institutes, top data science institute. There is a ranking of top 30 or 40 data science institutes. Bachelor's degree also we have done it for master's degree. I think IIM Calcutta and IIT Kharagpur and ISI Kolkata, they jointly formed a course on analytics. Okay, that is the top program. Then IIT Hyderabad also has some program, MTech program in analytics. So that is also best one. Then you have PhD programs. Okay, then you have I think ISI Kolkata is the best PhD program, offers best PhD program in analytics. Then you have online courses. So if you really want to do analytics courses, there are many online courses available that you can leverage, and they are quite useful also. And you have recruitment landscape. So what are the salaries? How much Google is paying to data scientists? So everything will be there in this report, and it's free for now. So I kept it free. Otherwise, it will be a subscription based. Okay. Then
Sir, we are opening
is it open? Okay. So you can refer to this also in later, but it has all the details. this report, I'll send you a PDF version of this report so that you can refer to it. So it's currently online, but it can be, we can have a PDF version of this report. Okay, so can we share the slide? I think I am not able to see the slide. Okay, so this link you can definitely go later. It is, I think, I don't know the number of pages it has, but you can definitely get an understanding of the entire ecosystem. Okay, so let's go to next slide. So I think I bored you today a lot, and how to plan your time. You guys are still studying, so you need to understand domain knowledge is extremely important. We cannot do anything without domain knowledge. Okay, whether you are a mechanical engineer or you're civil engineer, electronics engineer, you have to get a proper domain knowledge because it will be useful later once you join organization, any organization, or in the corporate world. Domain knowledge will help you a lot. Okay, so what you also need to understand, what is your focus area. Because many engineers, they go for management degrees and all. Okay, so you need to first understand what is your focus area. What do you want to do after engineering, whether you want to move into technology or you want to do management or something. Okay, for engineering fields, you can read a lot of books. I think library should have such books on analytics or something. If not, then definitely we should have. Then you can also attend webinars, conferences. There are many free conferences again, and you can do internships. Internships are extremely important. You can start doing internship at this stage itself. Okay, because they will give you a lot of practical knowledge, and most of the organization, they look for internship. So you can join as many internship as possible. And if you are into management, prepare for CAT. If you want to move into technology, you can definitely look for which area you want to go into. If it's artificial intelligence, definitely you can do a lot of research. Okay, you can attend or you can do online courses. Okay, and there are many things available. And lastly, never waste your time at NIT. Okay, because your time is, this is the time in which you can make or break your career. Okay, and at the same time you have to enjoy the time also, because this time will never come. Okay, so, and the success factor. So what success factor, this is what I basically do every day. Okay, I document my goals. Whatever goals I have to achieve, I'll definitely document it. So let's move to next slide. So what I basically do is I document my goals. I analyze my long-term and short-term goals. For example, what you have to identify, what is your long-term goal? What is your short-term goal? Short-term goal is to pass the examination. Long-term goal is to crack CAT or do data science courses. So you need to make list of your goals, long-term and short-term. You have to prioritize the goals. Okay, and you have to embrace failure. You cannot achieve anything without failing. In the entire life, we failed a lot, and that's how we achieve success. Okay, and you can do also personal analytics. You can do SWOT analysis. You can analyze your strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats, and plan your future ahead. And lastly, you have to try until you achieve the success. So that's it. This is what, and again, recommendation for institute, I would request the institute to have some books in library on data science. We can also build analytics clubs. A lot of institute are building analytics clubs. They can also partner with conferences, attend industry webinars or events. And you can also form a group within yourself also. You can start small, and you can form a group if they are into any technology or something. They want to do work in any particular technology or learn any particular technology. And lastly, you can connect with alumni working in data science. And I would conclude by saying the goal is to turn data into information and information into insight. That is what data analytics is all about. Okay, so that's it from my end. If you have any questions, please you can ask now.
Sir, if anyone is doing internship in data science, can that person go into data analytics fields?
Yeah. So I'll tell you the difference. Data analytics is very easy. Okay, data, for example, if you want to become data scientist, first there are different job roles. One is data analytics, one is business analytics, one is data scientist. The best one is data scientist, but you can start with data analytics. You can start doing data analytics. It's like analyzing the data. There are many companies in India. There is a company called Fractal Analytics. Okay, it's a data science. Amazon also uses, they take internships in data science. So definitely you can do data science internship, as many as you can. Okay, you can also get certificates, and they also pay handsome perks also for data scientists. And if you are good enough, they will definitely hire you later once you complete the course. So definitely you have to do as many internship as possible in data scientist or the data scientist position.
Sir, while doing the internship, maximum task is data cleaning and preparing the data, and not they are exactly giving the research work and
Yeah, yeah,
uh, so is that be helpful? Means
yeah, yeah.
for the interns they are giving only the data cleaning works, means
Yes, yes.
basic works.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
is
that
that
I'll tell you why.
helpful or learning
Definitely
is
it will
important?
help. That will be helpful. Initially, the data analytics, in a data analytics role, the most important thing is 80% of the time it is cleaning the data. Because if you use wrong data, you will not be able to get analytics. You will not be analyze the insights and results. Okay, so data cleaning is extremely important. I don't know what kind of tools they are using. They have mentioned any tools for data cleaning, or Excel, or their Excel or
Sir,
something they are using.
sir, manually we are identifying and selecting and deleting those.
Okay, but it's also a crucial stage, because one, if you don't understand how to clean data, you would not be able to understand the insights. It will not give the proper insights. So data cleaning at this stage is important. Once you move into a higher position, if you work for 1 year, definitely the role will involve cleaning data and little bit of data modeling. Then the data goes to the manager who analyzes the data. He prepares a BI report and he then gives it to his managing director, who uses BI to analyze the report, and he makes the decision. So we have to start with a smaller role. So data cleaning is extremely important, which is the most important step in analytics. We have to clean data first. If we get incorrect data, we would not be able to get the insights we needed, and that will affect the decision making process of any company. So of course, data cleaning is extremely important, and you can definitely do some internship in that.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Anybody else?
Sir, a lot of times we are told that data science or data analytics is a vast field, and for doing it during our course time of BTech will cost a lot of amount of time. So,
Mhm.
what do you think about it? Like if a student is in its third year or fourth year, should we start doing it?
You can start anytime. Okay, there is no limit to that. I mean, you can start in second year also. Okay, but you have to understand your goals. The most important thing is you have to pass the examination in with good marks. Okay, that is extremely important, which is a short term goal. Apart from that, you can start doing some online courses, which is 1 hour courses or so. There are many courses available. So definitely you should do. I think, but your main focus to pass the examination first. And after doing that, when you get spare time or something, then you can do such courses. And the number of courses you do later, no, for example, if you are into which branch currently?
Easy, sir.
Electronics and communication. Okay. You are also studying electronics and communication. You are also doing some courses in analytics. Okay. Once you pass out, maybe you can get placed in the college itself. Okay. There are a lot of companies now. Companies have started coming for analytics also. There are many institutes which are offering data analytics roles. Okay. So if they come, and definitely they can hire you instantly, because they look for your aptitude also. What is your previous experience? They will ask questions in the selection process also. If you have good analytical capability, they can definitely hire you. And even if you want to apply outside your placement, then you can get a good chance, because NITs and IITs, they get most of the companies, they look for IITs and NITs plus some courses. Okay, so it's very important first to pass your examination with good marks, take domain knowledge, Plus, you can plan accordingly. If you get time, you can definitely do short-term courses, and they are not very difficult. For engineers, I would tell you, it's not very difficult. Okay, anyone can do it. So plan
Can
small,
you
take small steps.
Sir, can you name some of the courses?
Courses, I think there are in the PDF, no, all the courses are there. Okay, it is a list of all the online courses. If you just open the PDF, not PDF, actually the link, no, analytics, yeah, that report. I'll share you the report later, PDF. But now, if you could open it on your browser, it will come. Just close the pop-up. Right hand side. In the pop-up, LEAPS program, right hand side. Yeah. So just, it's a 70 pages report. Okay. So here is the content. Okay, you can directly go. Okay, no problem. You can scroll it. So here you can see market analysis bachelor's degree. Go to page number 48. Okay, on the browser itself, we have to go to page number 48 now. Not browser, in the pages. Yeah, 48. Just type 48. And even if you want any materials from me, I'll definitely provide you in the group for all the courses. We normally list such courses. Just hit button. Yeah, it will come. Just 48 and hit. That's it. Enter. So go to next slide. Okay, so like this, I think the other page is not coming. If you refresh, it will come. Little bit of issue is there, but these are the courses. Okay, here is a list. Upgrade is there. Okay, all the courses. Price is also mentioned, I believe, there. So these are the courses available in the market. Upgrade and
Thank you,
other.
sir.
You can definitely look. If you need any help about the courses, you can definitely. I have my contact ID given in the presentation. My Gmail ID. You can definitely ping me.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, sir.
Anything else? Any questions?
Sir, if anyone is applying for any intern or job, what kind of questions can be asked for data analytics for our
So there
freshers?
will be, yeah. For freshers, have you heard about guesstimates? Guesstimates, as in
Yes,
there are
sir.
questions called
Puzzles,
guesstimates, puzzles or guesstimates
puzzles,
also.
and
The
yeah.
puzzles
Yes.
they will ask guesstimates. Guesstimates in the sense, for example, you have to calculate the market size of umbrellas in India. So how will you calculate? So first, what will if somebody asks you what is the market size of umbrella in India? These are guesstimates. So first, what we will understand is what is the population of India. Okay. Then how many families are there? Okay. And in one family, if there is a member of four family, they will use one umbrella. Like this kind of guesstimates are there. So which is normally asked. And they can ask you about regression. What is regression? If they want to get into a data scientist position, they will definitely ask what is regression, what is the difference between data, what are the types of data, and normal small things. It's not very it's not very difficult, but you can definitely find such interview questions. So mostly and also there is a difference. If you are joining as a data analyst, they will ask you a general estimates question. If you are joining as a data scientist, they will ask you deep questions like what is the regression, what is classification, what is clustering, what is the difference between artificial intelligence, what are the type of artificial intelligence. So generally they will ask this kind of questions. But it's not very difficult. Easily one can crack, but we have to get prepared for such kind of interviews.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any other questions? I think then we should wrap up. And thank you so much for inviting me here, Shubhendu sir, Dipayan. Extremely privileged to speak at this. And I hope all the best for all the people, all the students. And I would like to see more success coming in from NIT.
This was a great learning session, sir. We thank you for your participation and we wish you all the very best for your future. We hope for more learning opportunities from you. This is
Thank
the
you so much.
of appreciation for.
Thank you so much for the certification, and definitely it was a privilege speaking to you. And anybody even have a slightest doubt, please connect with me anytime. Okay, for any analytics related queries, what are the questions they are asked, everything. What are the courses you should study? All this. I have my email ID mentioned. You can directly send me an email, and definitely I would help you as much as I can.
Okay, thank you, Ashish. And I request you that to be a mentor of the few interested student, those who are interested in this particular area, because it's the upcoming area in respect of all discipline.
Sure, sir. I would love to help everybody.
So that they can get idea that how to build the knowledge on that, including the domain knowledge, so that
Yes,
they
yes,
can crack
definitely,
in that
sir.
particular area. Because now many companies in campus interview also they are looking for data analytics.
Yeah, it's an upcoming field actually, and it has the highest salary. I think a lot of companies are paying, some I have seen, even it goes to up to 20 lakh also. That is the reason why this certifications and internships are important. The more certifications they get on offline learning, it's not very difficult. Plus certification they do, internship they do, it will be helpful to everybody.
And you can also offer the internship or the some project even without any financial burden.
Yeah, definitely I would love to. If anything is there, I will definitely connect with you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much and have a lovely evening. Have a nice weekend ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much and all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. Thanks.
Thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
For
Thanks.
sharing your
Bye.
insights and experience.
Thank you so much. Bye.